What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. I wanted to jump on and chat with you all, so as you jump on, make sure you say hello. I'm going to share this inside of my Burnout to Breakthrough group. If you guys are not inside of there, you'll see it in the shares. All right, cool. And give everybody a moment to jump on. Ziggy, of course, whenever I get on live video, if you guys haven't met Ziggy yet, this is what happens. I get on live video, and then he finally is like, hey, come play with me. So I usually end up playing ball as I'm on live video, so you guys don't ever see me throwing things. That's what's happening. So if you jump on live with me, say hello. Let me know where you are watching from. Hello. So say hi, and if you're watching the replay, you can use hashtag replay. If it's your first time watching a video with me, let me know that too. Say hello to Ziggy here in the back. So I thought I'd start this video. Hi, Annie. Mama Goddess, I love that. I thought I'd share with you all the story that I posted about last night. I talked about how I auditioned for the Bachelorette, the Bachelor, to be a Bachelorette or whatever it was this summer. So the funny thing about that whole story is I don't actually watch the show. I think I watched one episode from like the first season years ago, and one time with my friend Lauren, who was the one that was like, oh, you need to audition for it, it'll be so fun. It was back in like June or July when I was newly single, and so I thought it'd be super fun to just like go do the experience. So I did like the audition, and I went because it was local, in person here, and it was so funny, just to do it. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put myself out there. It's just one of those moments where it was something like completely out of my comfort zone. I had no idea about the show, so I'm like, I have nothing to lose, and I just went out there. Hi, Lisa. So I just decided to go and do it. So I got like dressed up. They asked you some questions. You filled out an application. It was like really, really short and sweet, but it was just one of those moments where I'm like, you know what, this is totally not my comfort zone. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it was just gonna be fun. So that was my Bachelorette story. I obviously did not make it on the show. So I thought I would share with you guys that whole thing, because I know a bunch of you were asking me questions like, did you make it on the show? And I'm like, I did not make it on the show, but I wanted you guys to know that that fun story for all good reasons. So we're gonna chat. Hi, Bridget. Hello. I also saw your thing. Yeah, Lisa, it was fun. It was really entertaining. There was I've never seen so much floral print in one room, but there was actually like a couple guys auditioning for the Bachelorette or whatever it is. Like I said, I've never really watched the show, but it was just fun. It was just something different to do and a different experience to put myself in. So all right, we're going to talk about harnessing the energy of the new year. So I know everyone right now is kind of in that mode where like there's 8 million things going on. There's all these ideas that I have. Like there's all these things that I want to do in the new year. I'm ready. I'm excited. You're like in the new vortex and you're ready to do the damn thing. But there's also like, holy shit, there's a million things that I need to do. And I'm trying to show up. I'm trying to be the content creator. I'm trying to do all these different things. And it can feel a little bit overwhelming when there's so much to do in your business, so much to do in your life, but you're such on these high vibes of this energy. I gotta do this, I gotta go, I gotta make shit happen. And so I want to just kind of reel that in for you tonight and give you guys some tips and some different things to think about, some things to kind of wrap your head around and just get you excited for all that's to come. Oh, Heather, I miss you. Maybe I'll come work out with you sometime here soon, and I'll run next to you, and it'll be a lot of fun. Let me know if you would like that. Maybe I will stop by. But when we are kind of diving into the new year, right, there's like this feeling of shit needs to happen now, and I need to do the thing, and it's gotta happen in this moment. Otherwise, if I don't hit all my goals in January, then what else is gonna happen, right? Like we feel like January is like the end all be all for our success for the new year. And here's your permission slip that like, you're going to use a lot of energy in January, but January is 1 month out of 12, and there's going to be a massive catalyst to keep building, keep growing, and keep, using that energy to like have that compound effect for one thing to happen, for the next thing to happen. So the first thing that I want you to give you all the opportunity to do is breathe a little bit. breathe a little bit. And then also tip 2 is like to find a space for integration, action, and accountability. Like if you know you're the type of person that has like a lot of different ideas, or there's a lot of things that you want to make happen, and you're like, I'm ready, I need to do this, and you know that maybe accountability or integration or action is something that you struggle with, and you're constantly in that consumption mode of like, I need all of the information, I'm learning, ask yourself, like, where am I consuming so much that I'm not necessarily integrating the things that I'm learning? Where can I hold myself accountable for this? Where do I need to take action? Where do I need to show up? Where do I need to be consistent? Where do I need to have that integrity? And start to find ways that you can sync up in the energy space of what that's happening with. So like, I know when people work with me inside of my group programs, inside of my masterminds, inside of my one-on-one coaching experience, whatever that looks like, it's the reason why I run a lot of my programs live, is because they are getting that accountability that's happening inside of there. They're getting that integration. I don't just put out information, I hold the space for people to be able to take the steps that they need to take, and they're doing the thing in the moment. They're getting that consistent feedback for me. So find ways for yourself, like, okay, if I'm going to hold myself accountable to go live every Wednesday, then set that in your calendar, give yourself that space, create the time that you need to create to not just consume all the information, consume all the podcasts. That's amazing, and that definitely gets you on that like energetic level to, you know, create and get excited, implement, but also take action and do the things that you need to do, so then you can get to that next place. And I know for me, I got through so many times in my business where I was like just consuming. I was like, okay, well, how can I take all the information that I'm learning and be able to start to hold myself accountable within this? Which is a big reason why I work with coaches. I do group programs myself, like consistently, because I know when I'm in that space and in that energy, and then I have that accountability, and I'm able to, you know, make sure that I'm showing up and doing things I need to do. I'm scheduling those things out. Even today, I hired someone to be an integrator for me to help me get to that next level. I have a virtual assistant that I work with now, but I was realizing for me to be able to scale and for me to be able to go to that next level, like something else needed to happen. And so at each level that you're going through, we all have to like either, you know, put ourselves in a situation where we need to have that accountability, or we need to outsource different things, or my third tip, which is creating systems in your business that really allow you to get your shit together. So if you know you're kind of like that fly by the seat of your pants person, and I was talking about this in one of the masterminds that I run tonight, like if you know that you're a very much like fly by the seat of your pants person, which I know I do a lot of things in my business that feel good. I do a lot of things that, you know, light me up, and when I'm ready to launch something and I'm feeling inspired by it, like I put the thing out and I go and I do the thing, and it's just like this crazy process in my brain, and here we are. But I know that I have to have systems that allow me to keep things organized. So if you're looking and you're running a business and you're looking at your desktop and you're like, I have 8 million files on here and this is stressing me out, or you know that there's 8,000 emails waiting for you on your phone, or there's so many different things everywhere, you got 20 text messages that you need to respond to, you need to get all these things done, then set the time for yourself over the next week, especially in the new year, to say, okay, you know what, like I need to organize my life, I need to maybe get a calendar, I maybe need to schedule some things out. You know, where can I outsource? What is overwhelming me right now in my business? And where do I just need to say, okay, you know what? Like I need to set myself up for success as I'm getting into this new year, as I'm having all this energy, before I just go into like squirrel brain mode, and before I know it, there's 20 million things in front of me and I don't know which one to start on. And you're like running around in this panic circle. Like again, going back to step 1, like breathe within all of this. 2, and then look at yourself and say, all right, like where do I need to get organized? Where do I need to figure out how to kind of block out my day, instead of switching from one thing to the next thing over and over and over again, trying to group some of those tasks together. But start to think about like, what can I simplify in my business? And this is a question that I ask myself constantly. If there's a process that's taking me way too long, or I know that it should be outsourced, or I know that I need to necessarily like get myself where it's not all these different steps and all these different things that are going on, I'm looking at it and saying to myself, like, how can I make this more easy? How can I make this more fun for me to show up for it, so I'm not feeling overwhelmed? And am I just doing it because I feel the need to feel busy with it, or is this actually something that I need to do, or is there less steps that's possible? Am I making it hard? And that's something that I had learned so much about myself in the last year, was figuring out that I was doing things just to do things. And I was doing, adding in extra steps just because I had this mentality like, oh, okay, if there's more steps, or if there's, if it's more difficult to get there, then it feels, more worthy of success or whatever it is. So when I say that I'm available for making things like more easy and effortless, I'm trying to simplify it. I'm trying to make it so there's not a million hoops and different things to jump through. So ask yourself, like, what can I outsource this year? What can I simplify? Where can I allow myself to show up and be, the visionary in my business and create content, put things out there, get on live video? And if you get stuck in some of like the techie things, hi Simon, if you get stuck in some of like the techie things that are holding you back, look at it and say, okay, like what needs to go off my plate? What do I need to let go of? Which can be hard to let go of that control, because as a solo entrepreneur, you're thinking like, I gotta do all things and it's my business, so I have to run all of that. But is that necessarily true? Probably not. So thinking about where you can outsource in your life, in just like the day-to-day things. So if you hate prepping meals, like, can you have somebody come in to help you prep your meals? Can you, make sure somebody's keeping you accountable with your workouts? Whatever it is, outsourcing, it doesn't matter if you're running a business or not. Like, there's different pieces of your life that should be outsourced, so then you can do the things that you do best in. And if you're a coach, like coaching, creating content is where you need to be spending a lot of your time, if that's what you do, so you can bring that energy so people can see you, so they can connect with you. And the last thing that I think is really, really important for harnessing the energy of the new year, which is really what helped me scale and grow and discover so much about myself last year, was asking myself, like, who am I being in the process? Because you can do all the things, but it's really about the person that you are that's doing the things. And so if you're looking at your business and you're like, okay, well, I'm doing all these things that this person's telling me to do, but maybe it's not working, or it's not working at, the rate that you thought it was going to be working at, it's because it's going back into like, okay, who do I need to become? How does she show up for this? Is there this scarce energy that I'm bringing by feeling the need to, do all the things right now? And am I feeling overwhelmed? Am I feeling stressed? And asking yourself, like, okay, if this version of me is a CEO that runs a business, how does she show up for it? What does she do? What does she invest in? What does she outsource? Is she showing up like a frazzled mess with 8,000 pieces of paper everywhere, or is she finding time in her day to get her shit together and have a plan of action, and have how she's gonna show up, how she's gonna have things organized? So I think that is all that I got for you guys tonight. Thanks for jumping on, but just take this time in this new year. I know we're a week in already, which is amazing and is so exciting to think about, how do I want to show up for my business here? Where do I need to get more organized? Where do I need to outsource? Where do I kind of just need to harness all the energy and the ideas and start to map things out? Like, I love to just get a blank sheet of paper when I'm getting ready to launch something, when I have an idea, when I need to reverse engineer a podcast episode, when I'm coming up with an idea for what I want to talk about on a live video. I just brain dump, and then I go into organization mode and making sure that I'm getting the things done, everything that I need to get done. Lisa says, I can't believe it's only been a week. I know, it's crazy, right? Like, it's so crazy, and it's amazing at the same time. So if you guys are looking for some support in kind of figuring out your launch plan, if you're getting ready to put out some sort of offer or service or program or product in the new year, I have a free masterclass that's happening Thursday night. It is at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Time, and whatever's in between that. And I'm going to be talking about that, reverse engineering your launch strategy. We're going to talk about how to kind of bring this power in with your launch and get excited, and just 1 hour of amazing information to get you thinking about marketing and all the things. So if you guys want the link for that, just send me a message on Instagram in the DMs, or you can drop a comment here that you would like the link, and I will have it live, and then there will also be a replay for that too. So again, that is Thursday, but thank you all for jumping on. I'm gonna go hop off because I think Ziggy's eating something, and we're gonna go see what that is. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and have a good night.